Thank you.
Well, welcome back.
Thank you.
This is second round for us.
That's
Us three
right.
in the van together.
Aw.
As long as this took to set up again, but
We've been in this van before.
you've been here before.
Yeah.
Emitt.
Get in our van.
You are the van, are you not?
I am trying to become the van after all. Yes, it's true.
Start working out for you.
It's a process. Yeah. How are you guys finding it?
Tight.
This is your first 2 weeks, huh?
Oof, well, a couple,
Happy
3 weeks?
anniversary.
2 weeks now? 3
When did we start? On the 15th?
Mm.
What day is today? Oh, it's been a month. Has it been a
Eight.
month?
I got here on the 8th, and then
On the 15th, we left.
15th we left. Yeah, so a month, yeah.
Wow.
So
So
a month
quick.
anniversary
Today is
today.
a month,
So
right?
quick. Wow.
Yeah. It's everything's there. Everything's here.
Yeah. That's part of it. Learning that process
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, we're getting used to it, with all the chaos. I think when we're doing the podcast, that's the hardest part, right? We take everything out of the van and put everything back.
Yeah.
It's quite
Every
the process. But look, I think for us, what we want to do, I mean, we're okay with it. We're okay with the work. I mean, that's just part of it.
Yeah.
It's a ritual.
It is a ritual.
and everything that we do that's sacred should have these kinds of rituals.
It's
So
a
the
mind
fact-
game, You do it every time and you wonder why.
Yeah.
And then you do it.
And
And
then
then
you
you're like,
get
why?
into the state eventually, right?
Yeah.
Will I get into the state?
Well, I mean, I think that's the point. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Ritual helps get you to that state, and the way that you guys have it set up to get back to this state, and then it's like, I don't know what happens to you when you see this state, but it feels like, oh, okay, it's work time.
That's right.
It just
Yeah.
and that's the ritual, I guess, around it.
Yeah.
And eventually maybe have a nice turtle tarp instead of just a blue tarp outside. So it looks like a little turtle parked outside.
Yeah,
You guys
that would be
know
nice.
that?
Yeah, like
Good
a-
idea, actually.
Yeah, just something fun. Yeah, a little part of the
why
ritual.
not?
Yeah. Decorate your altar outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, you last episode that you were on, you did our chart. You read our synastry.
Yeah,
That's right,
the
yeah.
synastry chart.
Synastry, yeah.
Yes, one chart laid on top of the other one, basically. Yeah.
Oh, you laid
And
us
then we
on top of each other.
I didn't need to do that.
How dirty of you, man.
It happened on its own. Right? I was just there to
happens on its own
witness
every
it.
day.
Not
Unfortunately.
cool, man. You
Yeah.
don't do
On
that
its
to
own
people.
every day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, pays good money, so
It does.
you do it.
And then that was very early on. You just met us and you did the synastry chart, and a lot of it was really accurate, right? We were quite surprised. And I was
Do
like,
you feel like it was true?
I remember thinking, I remember
gosh.
asking you in the podcast. I was like, "Well, you must know all that because you met us, and you'd met us for one day,
Yeah.
So it was silly to assume that you'd understood all of that in one day, from us,
Yeah.
Watching it back, I was like, holy shit, like how accurate a lot of it was,
Yeah.
That's the first time I've ever had a
Do
reading.
you feel like actually hanging out with us has
man.
added anything to that chart, or did you already know everything when you're ready?
Because it's in your chart, man.
Yeah.
It's in your chart.
He's like, it's your chart, man.
So definitely, and I'm I got the rose-colored lens on all the time. So whenever I see you guys, I'm like, I just see all of the fun explosions, all the fireworks, the joy, the pleasure. And from hanging around with you guys, I kind of see there's the counterbalance of what happens, and it does show up because you guys are both you're both very air and fire based, basically. All right. So there's a lot of movement, and that's been fun, by the way.
You
can't say we're not fun.
There are a lot of people that can't hang out with us for that long. It's quite hectic. If you're more of in a chill vibe, we can be pretty hectic and pretty full on. And dealing with that can be a little bit.
It's an experience.
Yeah.
We were talking about how when I first met you, seeing the chart and spending time with you. Now looking at the chart and how it changes, and essentially when you first interact with someone, you'll mostly get their sun sign. So in your case, I get both of the Gemini, and most people would get both of the Gemini. So that fun playfulness, that the two twins playing around. But when you spend time with just one person, just intimately or just in casual hangouts, that's where you get to see the moon sign. So in your case, Leo, in your case, Libra. So the difference there is we're starting off with 2 air when we first meet, then eventually the fire comes out.
It does come
Yeah,
out.
and nothing wrong with this, but you're the queen, you know, like we got to take care of the queen, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, and I've got an air moon as well. So then there's a lot of air amongst us, right? Kind of thing going around. So you can see that in the ease of communication, the constant kind of flow of communication, each in our own individual ways, you know? So anyways, so yeah, I can definitely see the fire come out more now in the situation.
It has come out.
Like, you know, a fire is like, and then, you know, I've picked moments where I'm like, hey, I'm gonna throw some gas into that fire, you know, and just
Don't you dare.
see what happens. No, but it's happened. Yeah, I've dared, and I'm careful now because I've definitely made bigger fires than I've bargained for in the past. So now it's about
It's about playing with the fire.
Yeah, and you got that Gemini sun at the end, so you want to be playful at the end. So you always want to bring it back to like that peace. So you know it's fun to throw oil in your fire.
Thank you. That's flattering.
Of course.
Do you feel like we inspire you to get a partner? or the opposite? Just
the
like,
opposite?
right?
Is
You're
it-
like, fuck no, or like, yeah, it could be.
Wow,
Is it seeing the reality of what a relationship like ours is? You know, obviously it doesn't mean that you would have a relationship that mirrors that, but it could be similar.
Yeah. So what's interesting is I see both your charts together. I'm like, oh yeah, heck yeah, like this is fun. This works. It jives together. When I look at your charts individually, it's like, oh yeah, partnership, heck yeah. Like these two feed each other, you know? When I look at my chart, it's like, oh, this dude doesn't need anyone really, you know? So I've kind of worked with that with that in my own personal work, where it's just like, because there's cultural programming that tells you need to be in a relationship, then there's the other side of it, which is like the actual need to be in partnership. Well, not everyone has that need, is kind of what I learned. But yeah, from seeing you two adventure together and like everything that you're going through together, that's fun and inspiring. And it's definitely like reliving a bit of that spark in me. It's like, oh yeah, a relationship could be fun. Not that it ever isn't, but more the fact that's like, okay, like, maybe someday, you know, like it's a seed that's there. But yeah, you guys have definitely watered that seed of like, let's see.
I like to think that we are a good example for other couples. You know, that or people that are looking to be in relationships or wondering, you know, how to make be a successful relationship.
Yeah.
You know, that we're an example of, in a sense, you know, that there are ups and downs and there are challenges and there are, you know, we do guide each other and argue at some points, but then there's a lot of love too. And it's like, if you can strike that balance in a relationship, then I think that you're onto a winner, you know. And also such an important part for me is to not hold grudges, right? Because, you know, when you can have a big argument, but if you hold on to it for too long and hold on for it for days, it can get so much worse. When realistically, the argument was probably nothing. It was probably just something stupid that you don't really need to have that prolonged, you know, anger towards each other. You know?
Just let it pass, right? Yeah.
This too shall pass. Tom Hanks.
This too shall pass.
Tom Hanks
that's
said that.
Tom Hanks is incredible. What a guy! I mean, that's wisdom.
Legend.
Tom Hanks is very wise.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, and that's something that from looking at you two or witnessing both of you and your relationship over the last couple of weeks, that's definitely been one of the notes that I've taken for myself whenever that next relationship come along, be it romantic or not. Whenever you're in a relationship, it's like you're saying that letting go part, you know, that like, oh, cool, don't hold that grudge, you know? I see you two kind of really do that a lot. And things will come up. Obviously, life happens and you're embarking on this new journey, so there'll be discomforts. But I see how it's just like, all right, cool, there's an expression of emotion and that's it. You know, you just move on after, you know, that's it. You just let it out. And I think that's what's important now in relationship with anybody, is that we allow people to express themselves emotionally. And as if you're the person expressing emotionally, to really make sure that person knows it's not personal. Even though it might feel personal, but I think it's your job to make sure that, hey, these are my emotions right now. It might seem like it's personal. I might be saying exact direct words that make it seem like it's personal.
And your name and all?
But at the end of the day, at the end of the day, I'm just using you as an expression of my discomfort.
My rage.
Because I'm having trouble finding tools or safety to do that right now. And because you're there, you're making me feel safe, I'm going to send it at you because I just feel I need to do that. So I think now it's finding that balance of like, okay, let's not be personalized by it, but let's also not personalize on it. So that way like it falls in like both people's camps.
Yeah,
and I think you're really good at doing that too, at like taking it like, okay, cool, this is mine. That's one of the things you
I'm having a day. Because I go through emotions.
Yeah, we all
I feel like being a woman is like, it's a monthly cycle. So I feel like it's way more.
It's a different kind of waning.
Visible, than a man's flow, right? Like
sometimes,
And our emotions affect each other's emotions.
Yeah,
like how she is or how I am can. Especially in van life, when you're in this van together, like if I was upset or I was angry, then it would make her upset and angry because I am, and vice versa, right? So I think being aware of your own emotions and how they affect your partner too is such an important thing. Like, and we've practiced and learned that a lot over the 3 years we've been together, and there was a lot of learning, with that. I think probably from past relationships and how those relationships were and our reactions in those relationships, how to change that within yourself to then be in a new relationship and not bring those old things with you. Those old habits, right? Old habits die hard, right? And, you had a way of reacting with your previous partner. Then don't bring that with you into a new relationship.
Right.
And that's because you can easily just be the same person you were in that previous relationship, and then guess what's going to happen? It's going to end the same way that previous relationship did. It ended. So if you're not evolving and you're not changing, and you're not aware of your emotions and how you're reacting, then you're going to just bring those same things into your new relationship.
Right.
Yeah, and I feel like it's important to let it out because like. Definitely in past relationships, I tried to like keep it together, whatever that means. And then, and then it comes out in a very unhealthy way, just like all at once. You just explode, that's terrible. Like that's a terrible way to do it. So I feel like if anything, like it's better to just get angry at the situation, whatever it is at the time, and just, just say it, just put it out there and let it out.
Yeah. And I was at a Temazcal or a sweat lodge in Mexico. Have you guys heard of those before?
Yeah, I've been to those.
You've been to those, probably.
Yeah. And I was in there, and it was with 3 other people and the host. And one of the people in there just started screaming. And in that moment, like I could feel his energy, and everyone in that kind of ambiance will feel that. And like you could just feel he was just like shooting out a lot of anger.
And what brought that on?
So when you go into the sweat lodge, into the Temazcal, the idea is the heat gets so high, you turn off all the lights, and you're basically sitting in there, and they put these hot stones inside this igloo kind of thing. And then when they put the hot stones in it, the heat builds up inside the igloo, and you get really hot. And the idea is you get irritable when you're hot. You get irritable when you're hungry. You get irritable when you're cold, So the idea is to push you to an extreme that emotions get let go, that tension gets let go in your body. So in his case, there was some issues going on in his life, and then he was letting it out in a direct visceral anger within this space. And like it is an intimate space, it is an energetic space, an emotional space. And then the shaman or the leader was like, hey, you can't let that out in here. Like you gotta.
He said that?
Yeah, you gotta hold that in. All right. And then that got me thinking, like, oh wow, this is interesting. And the other guy barked back, and he's like, no, like you don't like. If I need to let it out, I'm gonna let it out. And then it started becoming a conflict during this kind of thing, right? Wow. That the guy bit back.
And that becomes the ceremony, right?
Yeah. So it just felt like the rest of us are just there holding space. And these two
Trying to
guys
breathe in the
just grumble,
fucking
you know?
Temazcal.
We're just like,
You paid to watch someone scream, you
so,
know.
it was actually, it was good because it kind of goes into what we're talking about a little bit when it comes to expressing your anger and letting it out. And what I was feeling from this guy is he was sending it horizontally. But when you're angry, you should send it up or down to Mother Earth or Father Sky or Mother Sky and Father Earth, you know, whatever you
So what do you mean horizontally, as he was sending it to everyone there?
He was sending it on this plane of existence instead of leaving it up to some other deity to kind of take it. Right? So it's like when you do have that anger, don't target it horizontally, right? Send it downwards, you know? And I think that's where like religion came into play, where it's like, hey, send your emotions up to something else and set it down here, you know? So then eventually it became just unacceptable at all to have any emotions because some sort of confusion of the message, but
misinterpretation, right?
yeah. But anyways, all that to say that, yeah, whenever you have that emotion, I think you need to let it out, but the how is important. Don't send it horizontally at your partner. Sometimes say, hey, I just need to be angry right now. Can you hold that space for me?
Yeah.
You know? So anyways, there's so many approaches to emotions because you're going to have them, right? You're going to go through them. And then it's what techniques, what tools do you have with each other? And this is me asking out of curiosity. Do you use to kind of get out that anger, to get out that frustration, especially living in a van? You're like, I live alone in a van. It's so lonely too. But anyways, we get over it. But the idea is, you guys are so enmeshed in this little world. So how do you get the alone time? How do you process that? And this is where, like, based on your charts, I can see that you're going to do everything together and communicate everything together. Like, these two are the master communicators, you know, at the end of the day. So I am curious how you navigate that, because you guys are going to put the time in to communicate and to understand. So yeah, so how does that kind of work with being so tightly together? And it's still new too, I'm sure, in some ways. But
I think we learned a lot living together in Melbourne. You know, we had a house together and lived together, and that was a big learning curve for both of us to get used to how each other lives, right? And I know that Kati needs to do yoga, and she needs to have her moments to play music and to find space for herself, you know? And I think I learned that and learned to give her space. And obviously the next challenge now is trying to find that time and that space living in a van.
Can do yoga in the van.
Because in the house it was easy, right? Like I'd go in the other room, I'd go in the office, and you know, she has the whole house to do what she wants, and then
you
a couple
could do
hours
it on
later,
the roof.
Yeah,
that's
on the
right.
roof.
Let's
Yeah,
get the
that'd
yoga mat
be pretty
up.
sick too. And you could drive somewhere too while you do it.
Next level yoga.
Yoga with a
Test your
view.
balance. Test your
just stay
balance.
balanced. Yeah, if you fall, it's just you're doing bad yoga. So he's saving you. He's saving you from a bad posture.
That's
know?
right.
Stay balanced.
You get a point.
Stay balanced. You know?
Sorry.
So I think it's just giving each other that time. Space is obviously, you just have to figure that out, right? You have to find a space to do.
Yeah, literally. And it's been raining a lot like the past week, so we haven't had that.
The pressure's been on for you guys.
I definitely
for
felt that,
sure.
yeah. Like I need to move, I need to stretch, I need to run. Like, you know, yesterday I went for a run and that felt nice. But today it's raining again. You know, I don't get any movement outside of the van. So it's like, you know, here I am. But yeah, it's a challenge. I don't have the answer. I feel like the answer is just trying to be present throughout the whole thing. You know, the answer is always being present, you know. Boring. But that's the answer.
It can be unhelpful sometimes.
You know,
you need something to bring you into that presence.
Yeah, because then you need, you know, I'm like in my mind, if I could do yoga, I'd feel better. But would I feel better really? You know, like maybe I wouldn't.
Right.
Yeah, I think it is all in your mind in the end of the day, and it's your mind and your body, right? You're trying to give your body and your mind what it needs or what it seems to be asking for, you know. You know, you can just smoke a spliff and it might do the same thing, you know.
Everything,
You know,
or eat 5 cheeseburgers.
Hey man,
you know, whatever's gonna get rid of that feeling for at least a temporal moment.
Yeah. For me, it's work. You know, like. Having some space just to have an internet connection and do some work and be working for a few hours, that for me releases a lot of maybe tension and stress, and I'm fine, you know?
Yeah.
because I think it's just I'm thinking I need to do this, need to do that, need to do that, and then, so when I get down and I do stuff and I'm busy for a few hours, then I'm fine.
Yeah.
I think
you played that energy basically.
Use the energy for good and to be productive.
Yeah,
you know, because otherwise you take it out on yourself and get grumpy and get angry, and like then it affects us, and you know, so all these things.
It's all very out there. I mean, it's all very here, right? Like very much just here.
Yeah.
So it has nowhere to go, you know.
So I don't know if I've mentioned this before. So one of the tantric techniques that I learned in my yoga teacher training, it was a Kala Tantra yoga teacher program. And one of the tools that they tell us that they share with us is called monologuing.
Right, yeah.
Some people call it dyad.
Okay.
Have you heard of this?
No.
I mean, I know what a monologue is, but monologuing, I mean, it's quite obvious. You just,
so basically,
say your piece, right?
You kind of hold space for each other for like, you say your piece for 15 minutes, 10 minutes, you agree upon a time. And then you can ask to not get a response. Where you just need someone to hold that space so that you're aware that, hey, this is my reality. You know, and then because sometimes you don't want a response because the person is just going to justify every single thing. Right? And then you'll feel disvalidated for your emotions at that point. So that's where the idea of the monologue or the dyad is a powerful technique where you can just get it off to the other person. And although it might affect the person, the idea is if you eventually want to discuss that, then the idea is like, don't. Let it digest, and then eventually if you feel that it brought up some things, then have another dyad about it at another point in time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the idea is you're just both bringing each other to the present of what's alive in you right then and there, and then you talk for 15 minutes, and if you don't feel like talking for 15 minutes, you just sit there in silence. But the idea is give each other 15 minutes of that held attention. It's going to take care of the child that needs attention or needs to be listened to. It's going to let you get validation because there's not going to be any response or invalidation of any of your experiences. And you'll get that self-expression. You know, you'll actually get some energy out. Like I've been holding this and I just needed someone to kind of hold me in that reality. You know, so
it's more of an open communication in a sense. Well, given time to communicate your feelings and what you want to,
and having a structure, that's important, so that way both people can kind of get what they need from it, rather than it becoming some sort of discussion. If it's something that's more serious, then but at that point, use another tool. This tool is kind of like it's a tantric tool, so it's more on connecting on. Opening up a sense of safety with each other by allowing your reality to exist with the other. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then when you're listening, the idea is you're doing eye contact the whole time and you're nodding, you're not asking questions, you're not prodding, you're letting the person fully develop their idea of their reality while you're holding space for their monologue.
We can try it.
So that's what I'm sharing. I'd be curious because you guys are living. So if you had like old tribes used to have talking circles, where they pass a circle around once a week, and
whoever's holding the whatever teddy bear can talk.
They're the only person. So I don't know. Do you guys have a teddy bear in here or some sort of stuff? Okay, maybe we can hook you up with something.
We can sort something out.
But it's a good way as well, right? Yeah.
We can pass the alien.
Yeah, there you go.
I feel like we
actually
often
have this. Hey.
Oh, we do have the teddy bear.
There you go.
Do we say something?
We do often. I think it's something we've learned as well, like over the years being together and giving each other space to say what we want to say, you know, and then because it is easy to enter into that discussion, right? To talk over each other or just, you know, you say something, I say something, and then you don't really get very far.
It just becomes it just becomes a joust at that point.
It's going nowhere.
You might be more present in that situation because you're just snapping back based on the previous response instead of looking at the big picture. But anyways.
Yeah, no, I think it's something that we've worked on a lot, you know. Communication. I think communication is one of the most important things for a relationship to survive, you know, and to exist together is to be able to speak to each other. You know, so many couples out there, I would say it all the time, you know, they go to work, they go home, they sit, watch TV, and then, you know, have some meaningless sex, and as I always say about those types of relationships, because they don't communicate, they don't hold space for each other to actually have any release other than just sit, watch TV, and you know binge watch stuff, binge eat, And, you know, like, what's the point? What's the point in a relationship like that? You know, that's what I ask.
What is meaningless sex in a relationship?
Not present sex, I guess, to just a physical release rather than intimacy and connection.
But then the meaning would be physical release, right?
Well, it's not the goal and it's not the meaning. I mean, you actually need to find connection and presence, right? And just an outlet could be just using that to feel better, to get a release. You know, it's like eating ice cream. You feel better because you ate some sugar. But, you know, the blockage is still there, very much in the way, you know?
So I guess, and I guess what I'm curious about, because I'm relating with other situations or stories, you're working 50 hours a week.
Yeah.
Your job is to connect with people, customer service. You get home, you don't have the energy, the space, or the love to connect with your partner. Do you just stop having sex at that point, or do you at least engage in the meaningless sex to get some sort of physical?
You quit your job.
Yeah, it's when they have kids and things like that,
obviously,
and like mortgage payments. You know, like obviously we're in the same boat. But when you take someone that's got 2 kids, a wife that's at home and hasn't worked, or a husband that's at home and hasn't worked, and they just don't have that emotional connection capacity.
Well, I just feel like it's something that you build in the long term, you know. Obviously, if you're, you know, exhausted by work every day, you get home, you don't have the energy, you need to switch off, you need to just watch TV and have meaningless sex or whatever.
Yeah.
But like if you repeat that, if that's the energy that you put out there every day for like 10 years or whatever, you're going to see the results is you're not going to be together anymore.
Right.
And you're going to be drained, and you're going to feel horrible, and you're going to be depressed. You're going to feel unfulfilled because you're not present ever, you know? So it's like in the long term, the goal has to be, you know, building the space, building a life that allows you to be in that life, to be present, a life that you don't need to run away from.
Right. Being
because
aware.
this is, you know.
Aware, right? A sense of an awareness and a presence.
Yeah.
An awareness and a presence of what you're doing every day in the relationship you're having with your partner. You know, if you don't have the awareness and the presence of what is actually happening and what you're spending your time doing every day, there is no relationship. You know, like, because you're not even there. You're not even aware of it. It doesn't exist.
It's just become a part of the ecosystem.
That's right.
Instead of it being a conscious.
Just a hobby.
So what's the point of that? You know, what's the point of a relationship that's
unaware?
What's the point of that
Sometimes
life?
Practicality.
You know? Sure.
Yeah, whereas, I mean, as a single person to afford a house is a lot harder than if 2 people get together. So you're like, hey, I'm not in love, not looking to be in love, but like, hey, it would be nice to own a house.
Well,
you know?
some people even have children like that. They're like, well, I want a child. I don't really love you, but like, let's have a child because that's what I want.
So there you go.
I don't super support that kind of decision. You know, I feel like you need to be more aware, and there's a bigger responsibility that comes with a relationship, you know, like for the world. It's not just about you and your life, because you're going to have a child because you want it. What kind of life is that child going to have? What are you going to teach them? You know, so it's, I mean, sure, it's easy to say, but I mean, you know, our goal is to like be aware as we can be, you know, to like, because we know how it works. We know how it's worked. We know where we come from, you know, from whose trauma we come from, you know, and we don't want to, you know, put that in our children.
Perpetuate that, and
we don't want that. So it ends with us, you know. It's like a conscious decision of like everything that we know is trauma in our families. It stops here, you know, and we're gonna create something new.
That's the goal.
As much as we can, you know. Obviously, there are things that we won't, you know, we won't be aware of. That's how it works, right? And then our children will improve us.
Hopefully, yes, if we teach them right. Yes.
Teach your children well, right?
Teach them to be curious rather than obedient, right? Kind of thing. They can at least
to be critical, to have critical thinking. To have intelligence. Funny, we were talking about intelligence last night. About what it means to be intelligent.
Yes.
And like why some people are unhappy and some people, I mean, we were saying maybe some people are dumb But
I'm dumb.
Is that really a thing? You know, like.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Because dumb for me is like people that don't have any emotional intelligence.
Okay.
And I know a lot of people that run successful businesses and own 7 companies and whatever, and are super rich and super successful. But for me, I'm like, they're just like not smart.
Yeah.
You know, like they can't solve like basic human connection situation. You know, like they can't. So are they smart or are they not?
Like you know, say, it depends on
that's interesting,
what we're
right?
measuring at the end of the day.
For me, emotional intelligence is
what intelligence means.
Yeah. And I mean, coming back to creating a family and creating a partnership, you need the intelligence to see beyond your partnership. I feel like these little things that we potentially can argue about with Dave is not, you know, it's not about us. It's not about that. It's not about, man, you're a mess. It's not about me or whatever. I'm too much. Like, it goes way further than that, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
And it's like you need to see the bigger picture, and I feel like that's the awareness. You need to see beyond yourself, beyond your relationship, beyond your children.
Yeah,
it's not about me and you and me having our children, and it's about the world, you know, because those children are gonna be seeds for the world.
Yeah.
And those children are gonna have children.
Yeah.
And what kind of children are they going to have? What kind of relationships are they going to have because of us? If we fuck them up, they're going to be fucked up, and then they're going to fuck their children up.
Yeah.
Unless they're able to stop it, you know? So, like, it goes on and on.
And that's the awareness, and that's the emotional intelligence that goes with that awareness, right? Like, there's intellect, there's, you know, a smart person that is great with maths, you know, and they know all the numbers, and they're great with whatever, you know, skill set they have because of their intelligence. But if they don't have that emotional intelligence and that common sense, then they can't maintain relationships, and they then bring children into the world that are also unaware, and then you know that cycle just keeps repeating, right? Because they don't have the emotional intelligence, which can be learnt, and they're not healed, which can also be learnt. You can heal, you know, and I think healing is the path to a deeper emotional intelligence and a deeper awareness. Because if you are taking care of yourself and you are healing from within, then that emotional intelligence is going to come naturally. You know, we see it all the time, right? You know, we had a friend last night who's new to this space, new to, you know, going to kirtans and new to going to ecstatic dances and things like that. And within him, our friend, you know, that emotional intelligence is going to grow more and more, and the depth within him is going to grow more and more. So then you can't ignore it. Through healing, you will become more emotionally intelligent. And then from that, you will be more aware. Yeah. So I think it all starts from there. You know, if that awareness brings the healing brings more awareness, and then brings a deeper connection.
I mean, it's just emotional intelligence is to be able to deal with your emotions, right? You're not a child that's 5 years old and it's like, oh, they took my toy, so I'm just going to scream and cry. But we get a lot of adults that do that, right?
Because it works.
It doesn't though. Like,
I've seen it work. Oh yeah. I've worked with some people the people who get their way are the people who go whine and complain to the bosses, not the people who do the actual work.
Yeah.
Whoever paints the narrative is whoever's loudest sometimes.
Well, because it's the established dynamic, right? Yes, also, we're not in a world that's emotionally intelligent. Overall, I wouldn't say that we are. Yeah. Otherwise, we wouldn't have the world that we have.
Yeah, maybe. You don't know.
So is the key healing?
And that's what so it sounds like healing is an increase in awareness. And you heal by increasing awareness.
Yeah.
So with that, it's the idea of like by reading a book, you're healing. Potentially, as long as you're absorbing what's being shared.
By having your chart read. You're healing.
Because there's an increase in awareness.
There's an increase in awareness, right?
You're always increasing your awareness, right? It's inevitable. It is inevitable, right?
It's crazy because like you're saying, whenever I'm doing a reading, sometimes people start crying, right? And because, it's an acceptance of the awareness that they've achieved. Like there's a mirror that's there and that heals them because it solidifies what they've become aware of, right? So it's interesting. Yeah, and like you're saying, like, I have the opportunity to witness someone heal whenever I'm in that because, their awareness increases. And when their awareness increases, it's like their body lets go of something, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I think that's one things.
Maybe a sense of isolation, right? Because if it's only you wondering, what's this? What is it that I'm feeling? You know, and if somebody like
points
tells you
out
what it is, you're like, sure, now it clicks. Now, okay, it makes sense. I'm a Gemini, and this is like whatever.
Yeah, and like
a sense of validation or whatever. You know.
Exactly, and like for me, I always had this feeling like, oh man, I need to travel. Like I need to become a traveling nomad. I didn't want to. My conditioning didn't train me to value that or to want that or to even look good upon that.
You look good,
But
man.
It looks good on you.
The beard helps.
Just a mirror.
It looks good on you.
Like, I mean, it's a whole look.
You know, it just happened, you know? It's like
He's
you
rocking
said.
it, man.
Yeah.
Very
He's
handsome,
rocking it.
available, by the way.
This is the life that chose me, you know? And that's, I chose it if you want to go down those paths as well.
I didn't
yeah.
choose that life.
Yeah,
It
chose
chose
me.
me.
Yeah. But yeah, so now it's definitely like, yeah, as you embody your path, your dharma. So and like when I saw in my chart, like this is what I have to do. The more I resisted, the harder it got. The more unhealthy I was as well. Just like I could see it in my body, could see it in my hair, you know, just could see it everywhere on how that was coming out. Then as soon as I started aligning with my dharma or my purpose from my chart, then I lose all the weight, the acne clears out and all those things. And then I notice whenever I do actions against that, something happens.
Yeah, your body reacts, right?
Exactly.
Your body reacts, and you always say that too, you know, like your body knows what
Your
it
body
needs.
keeps the score. I think there's a book called
Oh, is that a compass? Earring?
Compass?
Cool. Interesting.
Oh, yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
points of
Yeah.
directions.
Oh yeah,
My
that's what
sister
you-
gave it to me
Yeah, you
before I
always
went
keep
to
that in,
Australia.
don't you?
Yeah. And I lost one, and I only have one now.
Interesting.
You only need one compass.
Only
You
one,
only need one
right?
compass.
Maybe
Don't
it
need
was,
more than one.
it was too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
But yeah, so that's essentially kind of what happens with the health whenever you do align with that.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you step away from your path, it's like I used to
Yeah.
feel like something is gonna happen, you know, like life is almost like, you know, like something.
Yeah.
You're gonna. I had a lot of like bike accidents and things like that, you know, and I was just in a place. And then at some point I was even like afraid of that happening because I was like feeling it coming because I knew I wasn't on the path.
Yeah.
So, you know, at some point you just follow the path. You
Well,
know,
and
you just know how to follow the path, you know.
If you're paying attention.
You don't need such a huge painful reminder, I guess, because some people need a painful reminder.
Yeah.
It's awareness, and this is what we were talking about last night as well. You know, you only become aware when something drastic happens to you. You know, like the overeating and the you know, having poor health and no exercise and all that. Then you do that for 25 years. All of a sudden, you get really sick.
Yeah.
And then, oh shit! Like, what have I done? You know, and where was the awareness? Where was the awareness for the last 25 years of your life? You know, where was the awareness? And now you're going to pay for it, and now you're aware, right?
Yes.
Because now you're in trouble.
Yes.
And so if you don't have that
And we
awareness,
put it in your face.
yeah, and then it becomes your life, right?
Yeah.
And then you have to be aware.
Yeah.
And life makes you aware of it.
Yeah.
And that also is the path that unawareness takes you down. You know. So simply being more aware and caring for your body and caring for your mind and soul, those things are going to lead you down a better path, you know?
It's
Path
a
of
grounding
awareness.
practices, right? To keep yourself grounded and in tune with your body, to like, you know, it's not like you can never eat sugar, but if you just eat sugar, you know, like it's the balance.
It's learning the communication with your body. Like every body is going to communicate differently. So for me, I don't often eat like ice cream. But I went the other day and I had some ice cream as like a treat, you know? And I went for that treat, and the next day my body let me know, like, hey man, this ain't for us, you know? I really enjoyed the process, and obviously it let me know in a more obvious way. Like there was the first gurgling in the belly a little bit more. And then the day after, it's like light and day, you know? What caused it? Because I normally don't. So
And the cleaner you are, the easier it is to identify, because that's the thing. Sometimes in your life there are so many things that are wrong.
Yeah.
that where you
everything becomes
you
the
know,
same. Yeah.
everything's the same, and then you're like whatever, because like I feel shit anyway.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
you eat sugar and you drink and you hate yourself and whatever.
Just because you're trying to get out of that discomfort that you've already been causing to yourself that you don't even know you're causing at the end.
And then
of
it
the
becomes
day.
a narrative, right? And that's the world we're living in, right? Like, everything's shit. You feel shit anyway. Everything's poison. You know, like so. Why would you change, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like you tell yourself, you make yourself believe that, so you don't have to deal with the responsibility of change, right?
It's like taking care of the planet, right? It's like, why should we recycle when, you know, private jets are flying around the world every
the
second,
ocean is fucked anyway.
and the ocean's fucked and everything's
So
fucked.
I'll put my trash in there.
Why should I just chuck my trash on the ground? You know, and that's again an awareness, right? Of like, or essentially a giving up, right?
Yeah.
Just like you give up on your body, you give up on the planet too.
Yeah.
So like,
And that's a narrative that we definitely need to change because it's not even true.
Right.
It's not even true.
Well, we get to create reality.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you know, we have the ability to decide if this window is a burden or a savior. You know, you can see it as a burden for passing through, but also a savior from bugs coming in. You know, and it all depends on the narrative you want to give yourself at the end of the day.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and also I feel like it makes no sense to think, you know, we're walking towards our own destruction, because then what are we doing? You know, when people talk like that and are like, wow, what's the point? I'm like, what's your point? Why are you alive?
What is the point?
You know? If you don't feel like you have a purpose, if you don't feel like you're supposed to improve the world,
part of saving the planet rather than
part of
destroying
the
it,
change,
right?
part of the light, you know, a light worker, then what are you doing?
What's your purpose?
Well, to bring that awareness, to bring that love, you know, to bring that vibe. It's a vibe, you know, it's a frequency. I embody a frequency as much as I can. You know, that's the frequency that I want to bring into the world. A frequency that people, when they feel it, they feel it, you know? And they wouldn't feel it if somebody, you know.
Can feel it in your hugs.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
I'm a good hugger.
Yeah.
She's a good hugger.
You definitely feel that. Yeah.
Free hugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all we need to do, really, at the end of the day, is just kind of keep hugging people in a way and not be stupid.
Pretty much.
Don't be stupid. Hug your neighbor. That's the simple way of living life. Simple.
But where does that awareness start to grow first? At home, right?
Yeah, and your habits at home.
In your habits at home with your partner, right? If we were to look at it like that, if you were to think of it, you know, as we're talking about relationships, then it is from, you know, where you spend most of your time that you can start to grow that awareness and be a better person at home in the relationship, to then be a better person outside,
right?
In the outer world as well. You know, if you're an asshole at home, you're an asshole outside at home too. You know, there's no two ways about it. You're not, you know, an asshole to your wife and you go out and you're friends with everybody. Like, that just doesn't tend to happen. You know, you're either a nice guy.
That's a common story, though, right? It's like, oh, he beat his wife? No, you know,
They're all
and then you go to church and you clear it out, right?
Yeah.
Like,
if you ask for forgiveness.
You ask for forgiveness from God or something. You know?
Yeah,
like,
definitely. Oh. Good.
Maybe that was a sign to move on. I wanted to ask you as well, actually, about the charts and the astrological charts. For someone starting a new relationship, you know, should they look at each other's charts and go deep in that and go, is this right for me? Because also, you know, you're going to dedicate a certain amount of time in your life to a relationship.
You want to know if it's worth it, right?
And is that a tool that people, or would you sway people away from thinking like that?
I love that question. Thank you. Yeah. Like you say, very common question, very common way that Western astrology is used, and the way they use Vedic astrology, they'd use it for marriage, which oldly tradition, there wasn't much dating. It was you're married off kind of right away, and the charts were looked at for long-term compatibility. So what I do for myself is I don't look at the chart, because I personally want to discover the person before I see that. And then once we've been there for a while, or once it feels like it's time to, like you're saying, have that intimate time together, to be like, hey, let me look at your mirror. Well, I've got a tool that's like a little more powerful than anything else that's out there. So it's kind of unfair. But most of the time I do end up dating someone that does have some sort of tool like human design or astrology or tarot where they can get some answers or some sort of definition or vibe at least. And the idea is you do that together. Because I don't want to pick up anything behind this person's back. To be like, hey, this is everything I'm seeing. And you just say that outright. Like, I'm not going there to look for a certain personality or a certain trait. I want to be intimate with a person, to be like, hey, like intimacy, into me, see. Right?
Wow, I like that.
Yeah.
Into me, see.
Into me, see.
Wow.
So the idea of a chart,
good.
You're essentially kind of having like some sort of, you're essentially flashing yourself spiritually to me. What?
It's a fractal.
No.
Yeah.
It's a
Fractals of each other, right?
So when I see the chart,
right,
I see the soul naked. So it's the most intimate thing because
Bro,
I get
what
to
the hell?
see.
Yeah, I didn't give you permission
It's
to
just
see
sacred.
naked and
You
stuff.
did as soon as you gave me your digits.
Damn it.
Yeah.
I knew you should have done that.
Hey, careful your digits, folks.
Anyways, I haven't looked at everything I've looked at. I've shared with you guys kind of right away, and then you guys will stay stuff, and then that'll bring me back to what that is in the chart, and then that's what I'll be like, oh, that's this in your chart. If I were to look at it alone for an hour, I know all this stuff and be able to describe you.
Yeah.
But I prefer to look at the chart and let the person get like I forget what your charts are, but when the situation comes up, I get this like ping that says, boom, like this is that, this is that. So to sum up the answer here, it's you shouldn't look at it right away. You should look at it once there's some sort of commitment and you're starting to have some issues or starting to have some questions. So like you're saying, if you communicate and the love is there, it all works. Not necessarily all the time. That's not what you guys are saying, but that's a perspective that's out there. It's shared values. You don't need to communicate it if you have shared values. If you have the same drive, the same values, the same outlook on life, you don't need to talk because it's just going to happen organically that you're going to be aligned with the same things. There'll be an unspoken bond. In you guys, you might have those alignments, but you're also Geminis. So you're going to talk a lot with each other. Now, you guys, it's like, don't look at the chart and create a projected idea of what the relationship is what I would say. So have fun, get to know each other, learn each other. That way, when you both look at a chart together, it's an intimate experience because you're going to know about each other through experience rather than through some sort of judgment that comes from a chart from past data, past analysis.
Yeah.
The chart is there to help you as a tool to guide you through differences. Like we've said already here a little bit before, you're the fiery one, he's air. So in one way, he has to be more careful of you in this relationship.
This is so true.
Because you're the one that can burn up all the air and he's all air. So he's got to dance around you not to put too much fire to you, but also to give you enough air when your fire is low. So then on you, that falls that you need to make sure to try not burn him too much, but at the same time, you need to burn because that's what fire does. It transmutes, it brings light.
How should I burn?
How should you burn? That depends on your tools. But exercise is a really good one for people with fire moons. Exercise, hiking,
exercise a lot.
Lots of physical movement. You want to burn that body out.
I do.
She was talking about it a lot actually during the gym. Going boxing and doing all these different sports.
I want to try some other stuff more challenging.
And I think you've got a Venus in Aries, which means that you're going to value fighting. So martial arts is right up your alley. And if you're not fighting, if you're not actively using that, guess who you're going to fight?
People around me.
People around you.
You don't want to fight me, mate.
Because you're tolerant. I'm tolerant.
Let me tell you. Don't come for this guy.
You'd want to fight him. He's the guy to fight.
Baby.
Like if ever you're in a bar and you see who do I fight, pick Dave.
Dave.
He's too sweet.
So cute, so adorable.
Hey, make peace, not war, man.
Yeah.
I've always been the peacemaker.
Like you'll go to punch him and like he'll grab your fist and he'll be like,
exactly.
That's
exactly.
And then a rose will grow from your fist and you'll be like, whoa, and you'll be like, I got 100 more of those roses.
It's very true.
But,
it's very true. I do tend to use love against war. I think that's definitely. And again, that's another thing for relationships, right? If you use your fire against someone else, against your partner's fire, it's going to make more fire, you know? So instead of that, you know, you try to water the fire, try to water it down, you know? You want to calm situations down in relationships. You don't want it to be, get worse and worse, and to get more, well, to add fire to the fire, you know, like you don't want that.
To react to the reaction, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And that's
you react, you get angry, I get angry because you're angry, you get more angry because I'm angry because you're angry. It's like, no, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, pointless.
And again, it comes down to awareness, right? If you're aware of the fact that you're doing that, then you're not going to do it, you know, and that comes down to your own awareness.
Yeah.
And I feel comfortable sharing this about your charts here because we've spent enough time together. But so you've got a Libra moon, which is the ultimate peacemaker, the ultimate bringer of love. You've got the Leo moon, which is the war bringer in a way, the king, but there is a grace that comes and a joy that comes with that. So you're bringing life. And again, there's always a war and peace, but there are ways that you will also instigate war as a Libra moon. So what a Libra moon will do is they want to have an effect over the other person with their words. So they'll
done that to a lot of people.
So they'll throw in some words in there just to get you engaged emotionally, so they have the ability to then disarm you, to create peace. Does this make sense?
I mean, I do that. I did this morning.
Yeah, there you go.
know?
Yeah.
Like I do that. I do that with strangers that I meet. I do it with people. I've done it. You know, I said in a podcast a while ago that like I've never really been in a fight in my life. You know, and I've been in many situations where they could have ended in pretty bad fights. Yeah. But I always managed to bring the energy levels down and to calm the situation down using my words. Yeah. To disarm.
And then the idea is
I've always managed to do that.
Make sure you're not causing it. Sometimes you need to, and that's where the awareness comes into play. That, like you're saying, you're aware. You did it this morning. You're aware, like instantly. Yep. You know what I mean? So that's the example of like, you have to be aware you have these traits, and then when you come into partnership like this, you know that you have that spark capacity, and you know she's very sparkable. So right there's going to be a match of energy, because there's going to be high highs and low lows. Yeah. And that creates the attraction, the polarity, tantrically anyways, or energetically as well. Yeah. You know, so just the fact you know yourselves individually there, so you know that you're reactive, you know that he's going to try to prompt you sometimes. So what do you do in that situation, right?
Yeah, I mean, the more self-aware you are, the easier the relationship gets, right? Because I reacted way more than I react now in the past.
Because you've learned about yourself and how people are troublemakers or instigators sometimes.
Yeah, and I know how it doesn't help me. So you know, obviously my goal is to work that out before it gets to him or to anyone, right? Like, not that it always works, but that's the goal.
Oh,
right?
Thank you for that. Yeah.
Wish me luck anyway.
And you learn that from experience, right? Like the awareness comes from experience and experiencing relationships. You know, if you're not in a relationship and you've never lived with a woman and you don't, you know, you haven't even tried it, then it's going to be more difficult when you eventually do.
Yeah,
you know?
and spot on.
So sometimes even if a relationship isn't going to last forever and it's not your forever partner, even that experience that you've had is still going to benefit you later on in future relationships. You know, like I had a few long-term girlfriends and live with them, you know. And through living with them, you learn so much about living with a woman. Yeah, you know.
What did you learn?
Not all women.
What did you learn? Where are your notes?
Tell us what you learned, David. Come on, we want to know.
Hopefully, you know
let's bring them on.
Oh, you already know. You already know. That's a lesson right there. He learned to say, "Yo, you already know."
He's smart. He knows what to say.
You're the smart one. You are.
You're the smart one. Yeah. This is the challenges we put to each other, you know. Who's smarter, you know? She's smarter.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
you're smart. Unfortunately, yeah.
And
a smart person would say that.
But
a smarter person would say that.
But it does come from experience.
See, that's where I spray some oil too.
There you go.
Keep doing it. Keep doing it. You know, we're gonna get to you.
But it's about experiencing relationships to actually have a successful relationship. You have to know what it's like to be in one. You know?
You
can't have that without experiencing it, you know?
Yeah, it's a whole other world.
Yeah,
right?
well, it's just theory, right? You need to actually do it.
You can know, because there's a lot of, you know, probably know a lot of people that are healed, you know, spiritually healed, at least they say they are, and then they have failed relationship after failed relationship, and you go, well, if you're so healed, then why is that happening?
Oh, those were, yeah.
That's very common, yeah.
And so it's quite common, right?
It's very common, yeah.
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
Good question. I feel like you develop a spiritual ego, you know, too, and you get, you know, you overanalyze and you think you know.
I'm too strong to develop a spiritual ego.
Or,
That's the ego talking.
I'm too strong for it. Yeah.
I just feel like it can happen, you know, like I feel like for you it's a choice, you know, right now you are not looking for a relationship, you know, so that's one thing when, you know, it's not the time, but I know some people actually are looking for one, or they need it, or they feel like they do.
Yeah.
And they're on the path, you know, healing and whatever, healing after healing and peyote after peyote, and like still, you know, in the same way, like attached to the same person that won't love them back, or things like that, you know. But that's, and again, attachment. Maybe it's just attachment, you know. And
interesting.
Understanding that attachment, right?
yeah, I mean, maybe understanding why you're looking for a relationship in the first place.
And when I work with,
you know?
with single people, there's like, whoa, is there a relationship coming up? Is there a partner coming up? And then sometimes I'm like, well, the weather doesn't say for that right now. And when I look at your chart, like it's a part of it, sure. But the idea of relationship in the traditional way that we see it as like a man and a woman getting married, having a relationship, well,
The official way.
Now what's happening, especially with the age of Aquarius, in my opinion, is that a relationship is no longer two people having a relationship. It's the depth of which you relate with your own masculine and feminine. And at that point, everyone you connect with is the relationship. Because you're having the relationship with yourself. So you've already got that sense of completedness. So at that point, you're already creating another witnessing experience or mirroring experience, but you're creating it within yourself.
Yeah.
So the whole idea of this is that the whole concept of relationships is now changing in what it's for and how it approaches. Because, where was I going with this?
Because for people that are looking for a relationship.
And
people are looking for
right.
it. Yeah.
And it becomes, some people it's their project to find that relationship. But I think a lot of it was really culturally like created, where it's like, oh, you get married, you have kids, and that's for the sake of the religion or the country that you're a part of, right? Whereas now when we look at like an astrological chart, not everyone should be having relationships. It's not that they shouldn't, but they're optional. Like in my case, it's not that I shouldn't, but for me it's optional. But then it's, I should not pick the optional instead of my main dharma, my main purpose. Which is where you guys were talking about when we were talking about like the steps to a relationship, where like the fourth one is having your own purpose. And I think that's key. That's key. Otherwise,
your partner's your purpose, and then you put a lot of stress on them, right?
Then your children, right? How many people have children as a purpose, right?
And that's like half of the parents' charts that I see have a child because they were conditioned into it, not because they should have had children. They got attached to the idea that was their job. Same thing with people that are seeking relationships, and I don't see it in their like 1 out of 20 charts is a chart that's there to have a relationship. We die alone, and we were born alone, right? Like this whole experience that we have is one only with ourselves at the end of the day. Other people just offer mirrors. So, and we need those mirrors, but some people need them more than others. 2 Geminis, probably. You know? Libra moon, definitely. Leo moon, probably too. You need to be witnessed, then you need to witness. So the needs work really well there, because you've got that Libra and that Leo, because you want to be seen, and he just wants to see you. You know, he just wants to see people, and then he gets to experience life through that, and you get to experience life through that energy, that influence that you get to have.
I definitely feel like I see myself like further through him.
Exactly. You know? Because he can mirror it in other places. There's a lot of things about myself that for him were just like easy to see, and for me it would have taken me, a lifetime. His Venus and Mars is also in Leo. So what that means is that when you two are intimate together, you're acting in accordance to his values. As much as that might frustrate him sometimes, it still aligns with his values.
Yeah.
So that's where you two can have a successful, even if you never talked again and just watched each other, like if you lost the ability to speak, you'd be able to still connect both of you because of the other elements in your chart that match together.
Yeah.
So
how important do you think then patience is in a relationship, in the sense of giving the relationship time to be able to get to where we're talking about? Because it doesn't happen in a day, doesn't happen in a week, doesn't happen in a year.
Yeah.
It happens over a long stretch of time.
Yeah.
So one of the key factors as well is patience within that relationship, right?
Yeah.
Just a little patience. I feel like patience is a virtue, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Like in general, right? But especially in relationships.
Yeah, I think love is patience is a necessary component for love. Yeah. I think Jesus or the Bible said, love is patient, love is kind. Yeah, so I think those two things are important. And another example that I like for this is when we grow trees, it could take 100 years to grow a nice, strong tree. But now we figured out ways to create that same tree in like 50 years. But we are figuring out that the density of that tree is not as strong, not as solid as the one that took 100 years, even though it's the same size. So my question is about patience is, you can rush anything you want and make it seem big and bright and nice, and you can create whatever story you want. But at the end of the day, the more time you give anything, the more it's going to become stronger or die. And that's where the presence, I think, is important. Having like conscious check-ins with your partner, or those monologues or dyads, is that way you're having a constant conversation about, is this growing or dying right now? You're keeping a consistent check on it. So patience is the only ingredient, I would say, because when it's meant to be, it'll attract and it'll stay. Right? Whereas if you're trying to do anything, well, you're not acting in patience. You're acting in do. Instead of in
controlling,
love,
instead of trusting.
Yeah, so I'd say patience is the number one element, because do you want a tree that's but it takes a while for it to be useful sometimes.
That's right.
Right? So patience is the number one key to actually see true potential. Everything else can just be a flash of inspiration rather than genuine love and commitment to the relationship project or to whatever your dharma is, and if that lines up.
And if you look at modern day dating with Tinder and Hinge and all these dating apps, and how fast it is, and how fast you can change partners, and how fast you can find someone, that's the opposite of being patient, isn't it? It's the opposite of patience.
You called it like fast food love, right?
Fast food love. Yeah. It is fast food dating, fast food love, right?
I'm excited
it's swipe, yep, swipe. Just like, on a McDonald's menu on the screen. What do I want?
Yeah.
And then, do I want it? No, I don't want it. I tasted it, don't like it. Next.
Yeah.
So it is very much that mentality now, where modern dating is so fast food-esque that there is no patience. People don't have patience for it. They want it now. They want to fall in love. I've been on those apps in the past, and you see what people write and everything. No time for bullshit. No time for men who don't.
And no time
blah, blah,
for
blah.
love.
No
then.
time. Right? No time. Oh, okay. Like, what does that mean?
Nothing's gonna happen. Yeah.
And it's, I want someone who's
not
like
willing to give in anything. Right?
Sounds like they want arranged marriage.
Sounds like they do. Yeah. Hey, if you want exactly what you want on your profile, I can find it for you. And then you don't have a choice. Then you have to stick with it. Right? Because that's what you want,
what
right?
a fun experiment.
That's what you want, right?
Yeah, you have to commit.
Yeah, that's what you want, right?
This is it. Here it is. If you could pay $10,000 or $100,000 to get a listing of 20 characteristics of one person, and you get that person, you commit, would you pay that $10,000?
Because then,
would you pay that $100,000?
Many people would, I guess.
Would they?
Yeah, I think
I
so.
don't know.
Yeah.
I'd be scared of what I'd get.
I wouldn't,
what do you miss?
I was never on those
apps. What if they end up like
apps. I never did that.
schizophrenic or something? Like you got the other 20 things, but they're schizophrenic at the end. Then it kind of changes everything else in a way.
That's the thing.
Right?
That's why it's important to know what you want.
But you only have 20. Yeah, that's why you cap it off at 20.
Yeah, I mean,
you have to know what you want.
That's essentially how the dating apps work. Is algorithms that you input yourself, and then they try and match you to someone that also matches your, there are different types
that
do that as well. Yeah, there are some that are very much like focused on that. But then if you go through all that and you don't give the relationship time, then there's no point in any of that.
It's never going to become anything.
It's never going to become
you just put the seed in the ground, then you wait like 3 minutes and you're like, this is boring.
Shit doesn't work, man.
And you go get another seed, you plant it, wait 3 minutes. This isn't working either.
And then you're like, love never works, man. And it becomes your narrative, right?
Mm-hmm. Or like you just have like these 10 seeds in a pile in the back, and you're like, oh, all men are trash, but really you've put them there, You put
them in the trash.
You put them there, and how you're approaching the scene and how you're approaching the process, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking when you were saying that, like, skip the dishes or Uber Eats now is gonna have like date with my delivery guy option for an extra $10. That way you can order your food, order a date all at the same time,
And the date brings the food with him.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we all want.
So I feel that's gonna be the future practicality, because now that I heard some people were using to try and convince their Tinder match to bring them pizza. Like that became a game.
Oh, really?
That's a real thing.
That's a business now. Like now, Uber Eats is like, oh, cool. Date my driver, or date with my driver.
Because then it becomes a negotiation, and I feel like many relationships are like that, They're just like, okay, I'll give you this. You can hang out with your friends, which I hate.
Yeah.
But like then, but then you do this for me, I do this for you.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Yeah.
And that's like not good.
I was talking with a friend. We were trying to define love. And one of the things we came up about the definition of love is presence. Like whenever you love someone, when you meet someone for the first time and there's a flash right away, it's usually because there was a shared presence. And then how long can you maintain that shared presence is kind of the question. And communication is one of those ways of maintaining that shared presence. Meditation together is a way to maintain that shared presence. So what happens when you fall in love is you're falling in presence.
Yep.
Right? And then you're stuck in the presence. And then whenever you're with that person, you're so taken by the energy, the vibrations, the look, the whole sensual experience is stimulated that you're fully in the present. So when you're in love with someone, you're in present with someone at the end of the day. And it's just like, I don't know about you guys, but I've definitely had a meal before and I'm like, well, I feel like I'm in love having this meal. Or I'm on this beach watching a sunset and I'm like, well, I feel I'm in love right now. And those are moments of presence. Or you're at this concert seeing your ultimate favorite artist and then you just feel that that gushiness. Well, that's just presence. And the idea is the partner will reflect it to us in a more active way.
Yeah.
But you don't need that partner to reflect because that's all in you
that's
already.
Your inner state.
It's already in you. So that's where the idea of, to go back, like the whole idea of partnership. Right now, I've been in amazing relationships, had, I won't say great partners, but I've had good partners of experience. And now I feel like I've got enough data there for now that I don't feel the need to research it yet. Now it's just, okay, I've gotten all this accumulated experience now within me over the past couple years. And now it's like taking that time to integrate all those experiences to be like, hey, I didn't love them. I loved being in presence and they happened to help me get there. So now it's the idea, how can I create more of that presence for myself so that there's nothing external that's ever needed for it?
On my own without.
So you're independent, love independent, right?
Yeah,
You're your own source of love, so you don't need to.
And then the idea of doing that is so that then you can outflow towards others, right? Like you were saying earlier, if you're just thinking about the relationship and what you're getting in the relationship, no, you have to think about what is this relationship contributing to?
Yeah.
Society, what is the relationship contributing to the world? So like when I look at you guys, you've got this podcast right now is the relationship project.
Yeah, this is how
you've got, well, maybe not the podcast, not yet, but that'll be like its teenage years. But right now it starts with the van, so you're raising a little baby van project, getting that set up, and then eventually it'll become in its teenage years. And then it'll know a little bit. It'll have its own system kind of going on. Then eventually it'll be an adult. And then you guys will just be working together. It'll no longer be tweaking each other. It'll be like a full So like right now, you guys have a contribution that you're working together towards. And I think that's an important part in creating the union. Otherwise, what is the point of relationship?
Yeah. It's interesting because I mean, and I think a strong relationship, a strong couple should work together. You know, I don't know if that's too much to say, but I feel like strongly that's way more
now.
expanding, you know?
Yeah. Work just looks different now. Before it was just having a house and surviving. So you had the female bodied would usually take the role of home caretaker, and the male bodied would usually take the role of farm caretaker. Right? And that just felt by default. But now we're entering an age where we don't need to go to a biologically chosen gender role based on biology.
Yeah.
Now we can actually choose the individual path, which is why things are getting more complicated, right? Because now it's like
transitioning to the next thing, but
how
not
do we
quite
disassociate with what we see when we see a person is kind of the current dilemma. How do I see you as a person rather than as a woman, rather than anything else? You know, how do I see you how you want to be defined?
How do you see me? How do you see me?
I see you as a person who loves to bring joy, loves to smile. Loves to laugh, loves to provide. Yeah, loves to take care of people, loves to listen. Yeah, loves to sing.
Yeah,
loves to play music.
Yeah.
So, you know, these are based on outward things. There's a whole deeper other being in there that's like, oh, I really love taking care of baby deer, or I really, you know, or
I like actual babies. Really chubby. The chubbier the better. You know?
Or you know, I like little pictures of babies that are cute but dressed up in royalty. You know, like when they have like a little crown, like you know, like those subtle nuances of who you are, rather than knowing that you like photography.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's where.
Yeah. The subtle field of who you are.
Yes.
Right?
And getting to know that side through.
And I feel like being in love is something that can reflect that, right? Like it's being in that presence, right? Being in that state of love with each other. And you don't really fall in love with the person, but with the state of mind that person can hold for you to embody, I guess, right?
To be more of you, right? To be more of the parts of you.
More of your full expression, right?
I can see it in her where she couldn't see it in herself.
Yeah.
And vice versa. You
and
know?
if she's willing to accept your perspective and your projection, then she has a chance to grow there.
Yeah, definitely.
By the self-awareness. And sometimes people project onto us or reflect to us a side of us that we haven't loved, seen, or accepted yet. And then we reject the person, but really we're rejecting ourselves.
The
because
potential
because we're choosing
that we
not
can be.
Exactly.
Yeah. I definitely done that in the past. So don't need to do it again. But I guess it's challenging because it's like seeing yourself through someone else. You are not there yet, but they see it for you. So it's like you have to get there. But it's a challenge.
What's been challenging there for both of you in each other? Like, is there something that you see in her that she doesn't see? And is there something that you see in him that he doesn't see?
I guess it's a moment, you know? I feel like we have the long-term vision for each other and for ourselves, sort of, you know? But I feel like sometimes it's almost like it's patience again, you know? Like maybe you have to, you know you'll get somewhere, but you feel like you're not there yet, but you feel like you have to.
Okay.
You know, like the whatever, full version of yourself, I guess, right?
So what do you see in Dave that he doesn't see in himself?
I don't know. I feel like it's there, you know? I feel like it's just the process, the path. I don't know. Maybe I see you in your freedom of expression, but you are embodying that. But it'll be maybe more. It'll be more. I don't know. I feel like everything is going towards being more.
Sounds like
right?
you two really know each other.
A little bit, yeah.
I feel like we do, you know, and I feel like we are now very free in our authenticity, you know, in our expression.
Yeah.
And maybe there's just levels to it.
Yeah.
Whereas before I felt like in previous relationships, I completely rejected the vision they had for me.
You know? Yes.
But now it's more like
it seems aligned.
The internal time of me feeling like, okay, I'm
this
going somewhere.
Right.
There's more of me to give, but I'm not there yet.
You know? Yeah.
But I'm still doing it. So like, you know, it's not like I'm hiding. It's not like I'm running away from it.
Yeah.
I'm just here and I'll be there.
Yeah, you're just taking
at
your time.
At some point, you know, it's like...
Well, if you know you got to go to Alaska, you don't go straight to the store and spend $3,000. You got to work for a couple years, save up some money, plan your trip, you know. Don't
get a coat because it's cold in there.
That's a great first step to the plan. Yeah, maybe some boots too, yeah.
Get a hat, get a coat, and then figure it out. Save some money.
When you're going on an epic journey, it takes time to...
Yeah.
So don't rush it. Patience.
Patience
right?
has been my ally.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it would always be the self-belief that you see in the other person. You know, if you see their lack of self-belief and you believe in them so strongly and they have self-belief issues.
That's so painful.
But that's a part of it.
I get that. Yeah.
That's a part of it.
I felt that a lot in the past. Yeah. That's a tough one.
Because you feel someone, you see how
amazing
how talented they are, amazing they are, and then they have that they lack that level of self-belief to be able to keep pushing. And I guess that's the work together, is to push each other to continuously believe in ourselves. You know, because that's where it comes down to. Like, we're only going to get anywhere if we believe in ourselves first.
Yeah.
Then believing in each other will amplify that, right? You know, and we go further and further into the self-belief.
That's very clear for us that is, you know, the way. That is the way.
This is the way.
I guess it's energy that doesn't lie, you know, because if you are, you know, you feel people's energy, you know, some people you see them and there's a harmony to them, right? Like, I'm reading this book that's called Music and Mysticism. Yeah. And it's very interesting. It talks about how there's a harmony within ourselves and with the universe, with nature, right? So essentially it's like you're an instrument and you can be in tune or out of tune. And some people's harmony, you feel it straight away, is unpleasant. You know,
to your harmony,
to my harmony. It doesn't vibrate in the same frequency, I guess, you know. So obviously you attract what you are, right? In the past I attracted certain relationships, certain friendships.
Because you were playing a certain beat, a certain rhythm, a certain vibe.
And now I don't, and I feel like, you know, like...
Worse.
The things I've done.
With you right now.
The things I've done.
You sense it, right? You say it's a deeper understanding. It's a deeper awareness. We go back to the awareness. It's a deeper awareness, because in those past relationships, you were living with a certain amount of unawareness, right? Because eventually those relationships ended.
Yes.
Because your awareness grew and then they ended.
Either way.
Again, it all. I just feel like there's so much.
If you choose to look, some people choose to not look at all. Yeah.
And that's unawareness.
Yeah.
Right? Being unaware, blissfully unaware, you know, like, and pretending to be happy. Yeah. And then it all crumbling and crashing because, you know, you realize at the end you weren't happy. Yeah. You know, and that's what happens with so many relationships, right?
And do you guys think that it would be a good idea for relationships to get their charts looked at before they start? Like, do you think the whole idea, and like this is how they did it in India, right, is they would look at the charts, then the family would make a decision based on what the astrologer said?
I feel like that's just boring.
It's boring. Okay.
Most of all, I would say that's boring.
All right.
Because the ride is, you know, it's magical. The ride is magical when you don't know what's gonna come up, right?
So you would take all of the past relationships you had and all the breakups instead of just skipping right to Dave.
What do you mean?
You would still have them in your life as experiences, but without skipping
I wouldn't
straight
say
to
now I'll do it again, but at the same time I'll do it again because it led me to this, right? So like I wouldn't have got to where I am without it.
What if you could have skipped it? What if you could have skipped all that and gone straight?
You can't.
I mean, that's what
I could.
That's what astrology tries to do. But you're right, it doesn't necessarily. It all depends on your own personal
But we
beliefs.
always say if we'd met we met 3 years ago. If we met,
We did meet.
If we met 5, 7 years ago, 10 years ago, it might not have worked because we
you
weren't
ready for each other.
We weren't ready for each other. We weren't the people we are right now.
Yeah.
Like I was very different 10 years ago.
We would
and
not
and
have matched.
So she, you know, we were very different people and we wouldn't have
Also,
matched.
I was dating other people. It would have been wrong.
And the idea,
sure.
so the idea of the chart is that it matches so that the healing can happen because it's a match. So it's like your 2 puzzle pieces, and you got hurt because you kept trying to fit in the wrong puzzle piece.
Yeah.
But this is the puzzle piece that's always been.
I realise you can't park here for tonight.
No, we're not tonight. We're just doing a podcast and we're leaving.
Yeah.
No worries.
So the idea is it matches you at an energetic that it doesn't matter what you say to each other. What matters is that you're 2 puzzle pieces that go together.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like it doesn't matter what experiences you've had that have led you, because wherever you are, it's going to match you 2 together. And again, it's a very picky system. So like it's
always a match. You mean? I mean, everything's a match. Where you
everything
are,
does have
right?
a match. It's a 32-point system or 36-point system.
What does that percentage mean?
That's not a percentage, it's points.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
How does that
let's
work?
say you have like Mars and Sun in the same sign. That's 1 point.
Yeah.
So it's matching
it's
up to
different
36 points, right? You match
Okay,
if my
okay.
36 points match to hers, right? Is that right? Like
It's together.
You need to
like
match
if,
those
like
points.
as an example, if you have the Sun and Moon in the same sign, you don't have Sun and Moon in the same sign. So you don't get a point there. If you have both suns in the same sign, you get a point. You're both Gemini. You get 1 point.
Points for Gryffindor.
10 points for Gryffindor.
Yeah.
Get points.
Ooh, who would be Gryffindor?
I would not be Gryffindor.
Yeah.
My sister always told me I
You're
was gonna
Hufflepuff?
be Slytherin.
Slytherin.
So I was just like
All right.
mean. I don't know.
Ruthless, maybe?
Yeah. I
yeah.
feel like Hufflepuff were the dumb ones, right?
The dumb ones?
Yeah.
I mean,
And Ravenclaw,
dumb
maybe just
dumb
intellectual.
doesn't exist, right?
Yeah, like. Should we rewind?
Throw it back. Throw it back.
Yeah.
You got me confused.
So
I got me confused. Yeah, we're in the same boat
You
here.
got the confusion confused.
Yeah.
I think we're going to move on to the last segment because
Okay.
we're an hour and a half already.
Yeah.
But we're going to
You
get
guys won't shut up.
Oh,
to
boy.
do the reading for us this time.
Okay.
Right? So we're going to do a relationship spread and you're going to be our tarot reader.
I didn't stretch though.
You got to
ready
stretch
for
to do
this.
tarot cards.
You
Can you
don't?
just stretch?
That's some
You
pretty
don't.
reckless tarot reading, man. Yeah, you don't stretch before doing your cards.
I thought this would be fun. So you are the tarot reader today. Because we did it for you last time, so you can
Oh,
do
did
it for
you?
us this
Did
time.
you? Yes. Is that how it works?
I feel like we should end on a relationship spread, right?
It makes sense.
Does that make sense?
Kind of scared what's going to come up, to be honest.
Or is it just
Yeah.
us? You're doing it for
If
us.
anything, we'll cut
that's
it.
exactly what I'm saying. I'm scared.
We
doesn't
can
it-
always
Yeah, I've
cut
seen
it.
your charts.
This doesn't involve you.
He's seen our
pal.
charts.
Actually, it does involve you because you're the one. So
I'm scared
it's-
for you guys, and I'm scared for what I'm going to say to you guys.
Have you
Gosh,
seen
I'm
more
pretty
that you were
reckless.
willing to see?
So it's 4 cards.
4 cards.
It's myself, my partner or love interest, our dynamic or relationship, and what are we teaching each other.
okay.
So
So Dave, pick yourself.
should I be myself and then you'll be yourself? So I'll be myself and then yourself.
So who is me?
I am
Myself
you,
and
you.
yourself?
I am myself.
Or is it myself and yourself?
So
Because
this
I'm
is-
yourself.
You're yourself.
This is myself and you choose
Why
yourself.
are you mine
You
and
just
I'm
keep to
yours?
yourself, all right?
I'm myself. I'm myself.
Just keep to yourself, all right?
This is so
Okay.
confusing.
And our dynamic or relationship, I'll choose that one.
No, you're going to pick it together.
We'll pick it together. Microphone.
Okay.
No, you'll pick it together. You're going to pick it together.
Burger together.
I can hold it for you.
Keep
you
it
go.
together, Emmett. Gosh.
Together, man.
Okay, we have
Pick
to-
it together.
We have to hold our hands over. Ah! Da, da, da. He's already given us one, I guess. He's making
Kiss
us
us,
choose.
that's cheating,
It's
but
okay.
sure that counts.
Okay, I'll keep it here. And the last one is, what are we teaching each other?
Yeah, that's what I've been asking.
What are we teaching each other?
That's what I've been asking.
Yep.
That's all right, man.
He has a
He's the reader. That's it.
fun.
That's it. Okay.
He's the
All right,
magician.
so give you the book. You're the reader.
Identify as wizard. Thank you. Magician. What do you take me for? Some kind of 1340s novice?
Some
Come
kind
on.
of conjurer of cheap tricks.
I'm not a conjurer of cheap
Mago, a
tricks.
mago.
I'm a wizard, not a magician. I've never been so appalled.
Magician. I'll do.
Offense taken.
Shall I do my card first?
All
Myself.
right. Myself. By Dave.
Cha-cha.
Oh, the two
Oh my
of
god,
them.
I got that
Yeah, we
for
got that
myself
one.
the last time we did
Yeah,
it.
I
did,
remember
yeah.
this.
Two
Well,
of
luckily you didn't get
stars.
the fool.
It's the
That's a good
two
one.
of stars.
Myself.
Oh, you got the fool last time? That was so funny.
I am the
You
fool.
were gutted. You were
It's
so,
funny, you got my card for yourself.
Yeah.
You know what
It's
that means?
balance, time,
Identity
priorities.
crisis.
God,
Oh my
God.
I am her and she's me. Who is
Oh
we?
my god.
How can we be?
See, that's what we've been talking about all day.
Yeah.
So the key words are balance, time management, and priorities. Affirmation. I use my time wisely to manifest harmony in my life. Sometimes life can feel like a juggling act,
He's very good
Wow.
at juggling.
I do juggle.
He can juggle.
which can be overwhelming or fun depending on your outlook. Oh, buddy. The two of stars features a woman standing on one leg, skillfully balancing two stars as the sun rises behind the mountain peak. The infinity symbol represents the eternity of life, showing that there is no need to rush as you have all the time in the world. If you struggle to manage your time and balance all of your responsibilities, reassess your priorities and create a plan. Remember that nothing ever stays in perfect harmony. Be patient, flexible, and adaptable.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
Yeah, no, I was
That's myself.
very, very on point, I think.
Yeah.
You know, this new year started pretty hectically for us and trying to balance our time and do everything we want to do. You know, that's been the struggle. And the next step for both of us is that time management, the balance, the getting the work flow right so we can be as productive as we want as well. So that's, it does come down to that balance and time management, right? You know,
Priorities.
priorities, yeah.
Yeah,
Priorities.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like at some points, the relationship is a priority. At some point, work needs to be the priority. At sometimes
Yeah.
traveling around needs to be a priority. Sometimes alone time needs to be a priority. Right?
Yeah.
So, nice.
Yeah. Okay.
What about myself? Or
Myself.
no, this is yourself.
This is
It's
herself.
myself.
It's her. It was my partner. So it's
Love
her.
interest. You are the love interest.
You are
Your love interest?
No, just-
Are you interested in it?
It just says love interest.
It says my partner. Love interest.
Judgment.
Oh, that's hardcore.
That looks difficult.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to suffer.
Which one did you get?
Judgment.
Judgment is...
This number one?
No, it should be
no.
somewhere in the archetypes, maybe near the back
Somewhere
of
in
the archetypes.
the-
Archetypes.
There's no number on that card? Come on, you gotta help the
No,
old
it
man
has to
out.
be here in one of those.
There it is. 20.
Yeah.
XX. Resurrection. Inner calling. Judgment.
Oh.
I shed all that no longer serves me and step into my desired reality. It's time to let go of your old self and step into the newest version of who you are. This card represents a crucial stage in your soul's development by creating a channel between the material world and astral world. An angel with a trumpet stands over a naked woman who is ready to surrender to divine judgment. That's God. Above is a symbol of Pluto, the underworld's ruler, reminding us that everything comes to an end and a new beginning is upon us. Perhaps you're at a crossroad in life and you need to just step back and judge which path to take. Use your logic and your intuition. Reflect and evaluate your actions. Wow.
Cha-ching. How does
Take that, love interest.
How does that feel?
It feels...
Judgment.
Yeah, it feels like I do need to shed the old self, and step into my desired reality. Just, I guess, not having, the old self habits coming back, I guess. Just not reacting and responding from the same place,
Yeah.
but instead just being the new.
It's
However,
just like you
That's
said,
tough. That's tough.
to manifest what you want, you first have to become it, right? And that's
I
the
know,
part
it's
that's the part that everyone hates, right?
That no one likes, yeah.
No
Who
one
likes that? It's like, how
Yeah.
do you create what you want? By becoming it. What?
Fuck!
Didn't sign up for that.
Yeah, I just want it.
want
I don't
it.
want to be.
Hey, I want it now. Give it to me. You know?
My parents have enough money to afford this, right?
Right, yeah, absolutely, man. Like, you know.
Oh, so funny. All right, next one.
Our dynamic. Our dynamic.
Our dynamic already.
Our dynamic.
Chun, chun.
10 of Wands.
Oh, who's
Oh,
carrying
yeah.
who?
All the burdens.
Oh, yeah.
Carry the
All
burdens.
burdens. All burdens.
Oh boy. Oh boy. So, your keywords are hard work, ambition, and burden. The
This is our
affirmation.
dynamic?
This is our dynamic, yeah.
The affirmation is I manage my time wisely and allow space for rest. This card represents hard work and commitment to a task, to a dream. You might feel overloaded physically or mentally carrying a heavy load. This card calls you to reassess what success means to you. Can you reach your goals without feeling overwhelmed by the amount of work you have created for yourself? Can you find a balance between rest and play? Sometimes there's a fine line between burnout and reaching your goal. At the same time, understand what is weighing you down is only temporary. Soon you will arrive at your destination and all your efforts will be rewarded.
Yeah, and it's very on point, right?
Yeah.
Very on point, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause what was it? Can we deal with what we've created? What was it, that line?
Yeah. Can you deal with the amount of work you've created for yourself?
Yeah.
Because that's what we did, moving here and taking on, living our dream and wanting to live the way we want, is taking on a huge burden, a huge task. That can you deal with that? What you've created. We created this.
Yeah.
Can you deal with it now?
Yeah.
So many projects going on. We're living in a van. We're moving around. Like, it's a lot.
One thing that I remember reading at some point, I forget where, but I think this is when I'm looking up the Libra archetype, is there's freedom in commitment. And you guys committed to this life, and with it came freedom, but there's still the commitment that you need to remember and not just focus on the freedom part of it.
Yeah.
And that commitment is the hard work of what you need to go through of this whole project, this whole experience, right? So
it's like doing the work that you created for yourself and also enjoying your present, right? Because if we want this, we're not just expecting to get a goal and get there and be happy. We need to be happy
the
now,
adventure
right?
itself.
Be able to enjoy it is key.
Because the goal evolves,
Yes,
the goal will evolve and will change. It's not just start a podcast and keep going with just doing one thing. You then you succeed in that, then you move to the next thing, or you develop it and you grow it. And it is about also moving forward with your dream, not just achieving what you think you want to achieve. It's the next step then as well. So
There'll always be more, right?
there's always more.
Yeah.
There's always more.
So what's the next step after the podcast?
We'll let you know.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
tuned.
This is not in our chart. I'm sure you already know.
That's why our channel is called Tuned In Trip, right? You got to tune in to see the trip, right? You got to be tuned in to see the trip.
In the trip.
Wow. All right, I'm glad you ooped that alley. Yeah, buddy. Yeah.
No, I mean, who knows?
Swish,
But
swish.
there's a lot of goals. We want to do some coaching, relationship coaching, coaching in general, coaching the coaches, like more music, more video content. Well, you know
Some
about
more
that.
production,
Some
more
more
production
production,
on
some more
video.
things that we
Gotcha.
can't talk about just
Not
yet.
yet, yeah.
But
the teaser trailer
there'll be
comes
some
out.
more
Okay,
coming, and it's
cool.
always more and more. And obviously, the more we move and the more we create, creation then creates itself, right? So it's like exponential.
You want to be careful or aware of what you're creating from those creations.
Yeah.
Sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are we teaching
Yep. Go for
each other?
Oh, this is beautiful.
Oh,
Two
another
of
two.
cups.
Cups, it's the
Oh,
partnership,
that
yeah.
seems Cute.
We've probably got a couple of minutes left, so if we get this one.
Okay.
The key words are sacred union, balance, and partnership. There's a theme. My life is full of harmonic, balanced energy exchanges. Wait. When I say there's a theme, there's a theme. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, thank you. The Two of Cups.
The dos de copas.
You are creating deep and mutually beneficial connections based on love, respect, and shared values. So that was, what was that one again? It was what are we teaching each other? So you're teaching each other mutually beneficial connections based on love, respect, and shared values.
And partnership, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, sacred union. Cool.
What a card to end on, right?
Yeah.
What a beautiful card to end on.
For a
Good to see
relationship
what
podcast,
what we spoke about, all relationships, and it ends on sacred union and balance, you know? Poetic.
And and that concept that we create together, something that cannot be
Yeah.
achieved by one person alone, right?
Correct. Yeah.
That's why you need a relationship, you know. Well, not that you need it, but like it can be
A
expanding,
relationship
right?
can help expand.
Can be
yes.
expanding, yeah.
Yeah. And
The right one, anyway.
it can help expand very quickly as well, compared to like if you're just on your own all the time. Like if you spend time alone, you connect in one way, but then as soon as like you connect with someone else, you can just immediately cry, even though that person said nothing or done nothing. So there is a magic that does happen in relationship. It's just, when are you open to it? When are you not open to it? When is it part of your journey? When do you need the love and support from it? Like it's always,
And I feel
It's
like
a
that's when
balance.
you know yourself, right? When through other
exactly.
people. You don't know yourself through being alone in your house.
You need that. Yeah.
You need the triggers, you need
the.
the visions to see yourself.
Yeah.
This is why it's a challenge. I mean, I'm not saying it's easy to be in a relationship, but like you get to really see yourself, you know, especially if you're in a van.
And
There's nowhere to hide.
and so just we're closing off now.
Yeah, in a minute, but yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess the last thing is like when you're saying you need that trigger to help you change, to help you grow. And like I told you guys, I wrote a book last summer, right? And I wasn't ready to share it or whatever. Still needs some work, still needs some editing. But the main principle of the book is like how to change, how to grow. And you need 3 things to grow. You need the will to grow, the willpower, the determination, the goal. You need support to get through it. You need help. And you need a catalyst. You need something to trigger the growth. It's like you're saying, most people wait for something to go wrong in their body as the catalyst. But if you start asking yourself the right questions and becoming really honest with yourself, you can be your own catalyst and keep catalyzing your own growth. But make sure that you've got the desire, the true desire, and make sure that you're supported.
Your partner can be the catalyst too.
Pardon?
Your partner can be the catalyst.
They can be the support, they can be the catalyst, they can also be the will.
They can be the will too. Yeah, absolutely.
As long as you have 3 different sources for each of those. And that's why a lot of religions, ancient religions, have the trifecta kind of mentality. You know, like Krishna, Brahma, Shiva, God, Jesus, and the Holy
Trinity,
Spirit.
yeah.
Or Mother Mary,
Yeah,
Mother, Father, Son. So the idea of having this Trinity is you always need those 3 aspects to kind of jump with each other. So when you're changing, you need 3 elements to create some change. If you just have 2, it just creates a polarity that goes back and forth. It doesn't create a change. Does that make sense?
So you can go to the 3 places
You
and
can go
then
to 3D instead of 2D.
Oh, interesting.
Because 2D is a 1 or a 0, but as soon as you go into the 3D, then that's when you're actually changing something.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just the same pole, like same duality.
Interesting.
So yeah, have your partner and yourself be aware of who's what when. It's very confusing if your partner or your parents or your teacher is the support and the catalyst. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It can be done, but it's confusing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so make sure that, you know, if you're catalyzing her, make sure that she has a support somewhere. And that's where religions will come in, or God, where you use that as your kind of support.
And if he's my
your
catalyst,
faith.
you can't be my support. That's what you mean.
Because it'll get confusing.
Yeah,
Because then you won't know what state you're in.
Yeah, I
Are
feel
you?
that.
Yeah. So that's why it's important to have multiple relationships with different people.
Do I need to date other guys?
I mean, that's essentially what I'm trying to get at, is you guys need to open up your relationship.
After all that, just being an open relationship, guys.
That's the key.
Yeah, historically, it's worked really well for everyone that's ever done that.
Yeah, like all the kings are renowned. to have had
Statistics
multiple
don't lie,
wives.
man.
And
Yeah.
Who do we talk about? Not the person who's got one wife.
No, I
you
mean-
know? That's not what we're talking about.
Henry VIII had it right.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, you know. Divorce. What was it? Divorce beheaded died. Divorce beheaded survived. You know, it was his 6 wives. So he did something with all of them. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting takes there.
Yeah.
Let's
leave it at that.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you everyone for tuning in,
cool.
and this will be the 3rd episode of OnlyVans podcast, the 2nd episode with Emitt, and it's less about his life, thankfully, because that was pretty boring. So nah, I'm kidding.
Still pretty boring, by the way.
He's still
Hasn't changed
Still
since
bored
last
every
week.
day.
He's still living in a van, guys, and he's still single and alone.
Call 111
Thank you, guys.
to date Emitt.
Thank you for being on the podcast, Emitt, again. And
Thanks for having me.
And good luck. Goodbye.